custom, gotta start off by expressing my deep and profound gratitude, appreciation for the people who make this whole experience possible for us. My main man, DJ CEO, and Mrs. DJ CEO, aka Tampa Bay Tammy. They put this whole program, whole radio station together. Now, every week I tell you about how for years they've been dedicated, committed, loyal, dutiful in making sure that the community has what it needs on the media side of the game. Did it for years via In Touch News and Magazine. A lot of, a lot of years. And I'm gonna tell you, cause I seen some of y'all and didn't recognize you. They take good pictures. In Touch News Magazine make you look good. Cause I'm like, that was you in the thing. So In Touch News been making you look good for years, and now making me look good. I don't look this good in person for real. This is all on the In Touch News production side of the game. Have us in here looking happy. I'm not this happy. I'm really not this happy. But it's the In Touch News family that makes this all possible, and I'm really grateful.
Thank you.
I'm really grateful to them for that. And thank you for joining in and tuning in, and want you to call in. I don't know why y'all don't call me. I really don't. Like I used to get some phone calls, but these days y'all don't call me no more. And that's fine. If you don't want to talk to me, that's fine. Cause I know I'm gonna tell the truth to you, and you can't handle the truth. I've been on YouTube watching like the top. It's like the top monologues in movies or something like that, and so they had, of course, they had what's that? A Few Good Men. They had that Jack Nicholson thing on that one. Did you order the code red? Yeah, you right I did. He said you can't handle the truth, so maybe you don't call me because you can't handle the truth. But that's what we're about on the Life Malcolm Show, telling you the truth and having a little fun. Hope you enjoy yourself when you tune in. And I know some of y'all tune in because when you look live, it's like 2 viewers. The next thing you know, it's like 300 views. And it's like, so y'all don't want to look live and, show your boy love live. I got it. But then y'all come back and see what's going on. That's I appreciate the secret love. We secret lovers. I appreciate it. So, but today, you can call in as usual. It's 813-444-9588. 813-444-9588. And talk about it, man. We be talking about some interesting things. Talked about last week. Oh my goodness. Last week. I was in the hot seat. It's my show, and I was in the hot seat, but we had a conversation about the new Roe v. Wade decision, and the conversation about the gun control or what have you, and it was really festive. But definitely would love to hear what you have to say. And you can call in and change the topic of the show if you want. Cause listen, I want to talk about whatever you want to talk about, and I hope that what I talk about is what you want to talk about, even when you don't call in to talk about it. So with that said, got some things that's been on my mind, over the course of the week. I came up with this list of stuff, and mystery man behind the mic, if you want, you can chime in and answer some of these questions. It's like DJ cut the music. So I have a guest in here, in case you didn't notice. And so may as well bring her on in. She's actually here, but I'm going to bring her in, like introduce her. But she's here, and I'm going to bring her in, but going to bring her on to the show. I want to introduce to some. I got this from church. I used to do this. I hear this in church. I want to introduce to some and present to others. That's you gotta say that when you as popular as you are. I want to introduce to some and present to others the one and only Dr. who show you how it's supposed to be done, how you're supposed to do it, live it like she say it, preaches what she practices, but not only that, practices what it is she preaches. She has her own practice right over there in the West Tampa area. Now it's at the Truist. It used to be BB&T, if you're familiar with that, but now it's the Truist bank building. That's Truist, and that's appropriate because she is the truest, Truest, doctor you will ever meet. She gonna make you live to be a healthy 100 years old, even if you trying to die today. So I want y'all to go ahead and start clapping your hands up. My secret lovers watching, secret clap it up for my special guest today, Dr. Faith. Y'all clap it up. How you doing, Dr. Faith?
I'm well, Les. Thank you for having me.
Oh man, this is such a pleasant surprise. I had no idea that you were gonna be with us today.
Neither did I.
Well, I'm glad that the feeling is mutual. So, got the mystery man behind. Oh, I didn't think my mystery man behind it. I want to definitely give a shout out to my mystery man behind. I think I done blown this cover several times, but definitely want to thank him for doing all this magic and stuff behind the boards, making it do what it do, look how it's supposed to look, and what have you. And you can chime in on these questions. Have you ever heard of the game Would You Rather? Like the game Would You Rather? They ask questions like, would you rather, walk on hot coals or sit on a hot iron? That kind of thing. You have to pick one.
Yes.
You ever heard of that? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm not that. I do consider myself, generally speaking, a hopeful optimist, but I'm also I have a side of me that is not always as optimistic. So I came up with a similar kind of thing to Would You Rather, but it's called What's Worse. So I just want to just rattle them off, kind of, like bullet points, and you can answer like which one worse, and we can talk about them a little bit. All right, okay. You ready?
Ready.
Quick round. Oh, hold on, DJ, cut the music. Dr. Faith, why don't you tell the people about yourself? Before so they know a little something about yourself. Where you from?
So I am originally from the Bahamas, Nassau.
Okay.
And have been in Tampa since 1997.
Oh, okay. What brought you to Tampa?
Work.
Okay. What kind of work?
Medical practice.
Okay, because I said doctor. It's a whole lot of
there are different kinds of
out here,
doctors,
and
right.
a whole lot of perpetrators.
This is true.
This
is true. So let me clear it up.
Yeah.
So I am.
You might think you do voodoo when you say you're from the Bahamas. Witch doctor. So.
Well, we seem to work some magic.
100%.
But I am a medical physician.
Okay.
And dually board certified in internal medicine and also lifestyle medicine.
What's lifestyle medicine?
So lifestyle medicine is treating chronic illnesses with lifestyle changes. So like reversing diabetes with changing your lifestyle.
Okay. All right. So work brought you to Tampa.
Indeed.
And you stayed.
I don't like to move.
All right. So, tell us about your practice now. Like, what kind of, is it half and half lifestyle and conventional? Like this, tell us about it.
Sure. So I've been in private practice, since 2008, and initially it was all internal medicine, so your traditional medicine, giving out medications. But then I decided to try to challenge people to try to get off their meds. So that was a big push several years ago. And my lifestyle is health oriented, eating well, no toxins like smoking and exercise and that kind of thing. And so I try to encourage my patients to do the same. but I got the tools, the data to try to convince people that no, this is really beneficial, and studies show that if you do X, Y, Z, you can improve your health. So now I try to encourage people to take the lifestyle path, but I've learned the hard way. My patients are my teachers also.
No.
So I remember.
What do you mean when you say that?
I remember one patient, he was like, I don't want to do that. And in fact, left because he was like, no, this is not what I want to do. So that taught me everybody's at a different space in their life. Not everybody is willing to make the sacrifices or changes that they need to stay healthy. And so I have to meet them where they are. I let them know this is ideally what you should do. And I get their feedback. What are you comfortable doing? And then try to work with them to get to where they should be.
Why do you think they don't want to do that stuff that's going to make them healthy? And I asked that question because I think right away when you say it, like a lot of people don't want to do the stuff that's going to make them healthy, that sounds crazy. Like who wants to live and not be healthy? It sounds crazy. And I think of this quote, Harriet Tubman. If you ever listen to the show, I'm always talking about African proverbs and quotes and what have you. And I know Harriet Tubman, people quote Harriet Tubman saying something like she freed 1,000 slaves, or thousands of slaves, something like that, and could have freed 1,000 or thousands more if they knew they were slaves. Obviously, the people you work with know they are unhealthy. So that's not the question, whether they're healthy or not. But so since they know, like, what's the thing that prevents them from wanting to do it? Is it that they don't do it, meaning change their lifestyle? Is it because they don't believe that it's a lifestyle change, or that a lifestyle change could make them healthier? Or is it because they're lazy? Or is it a combination? Like, what do you think? What do you attribute? Because I would want to be healthy, and if you got the regimen, the
Secret sauce.
It's not just I'm saying, but the regimen and the plan. That's what's like the blueprint. That's what I was looking for, the blue. If you had a blueprint, I could follow it. Like I want to be healthy. I think I'd do it. Yeah. So what do you attribute the non-compliance to?
Well, I ask them that exact question because a lot of them will do what I ask them to do, and they'll say, oh man, I felt so great, and then they fell off the wagon. And I'm like, well, why did you do that? Why didn't you get back on? And I'll tell you, the majority of them said, I'm just lazy.
Okay.
Not disciplined.
All right. Okay. Lazy. That might even add to my what's worse list, because when we come back, I mentioned what's worse, my little what's worse thing I want to do. I had these ideas on my mind, and so I want to get them out. They messing with me, and they just in my head boxing. So I want to get them out, but I did want to allow the audience to get to know you and a little bit about you and all the stuff that you do. But you just helped me add something to my what's worse list, and we're going to tackle the what's worse list when we get back. You all right with that?
Sounds good.
All right, good. Look, we'll see you on the other side of the break. You tuned in to the Life Malcolm Show. Call me up, 813-444-9588. See you on the other side of the break.
Get ready to experience a night of R&B hits after hits. It's the R&B Music Experience Keith Sweat Birthday Weekend Celebration, Saturday, July 23rd at the Amalie Arena, Tampa, Florida, with Keith Sweat. Keith Sweat. It's going to be an epic music experience with Monica, Tevin Campbell, Tamar Braxton, Genuine, 112, and Silk. It's the R&B Music Experience Keith Sweat Birthday Weekend Celebration. Saturday, July 23rd at Amalie Arena, Tampa, Florida. With Keith Sweat, Monica Tevin, Campbell, Tamar Braxton, Genuine, 112, and Silk. Tickets on sale at Ticketmaster.com. Another global events production.
Get ready for over 5 decades of music. It's the last stop on the Love Train Tour, starring the OJs. It's your last chance to see your favorite group. The OJs live in concert. With Gerald Austin and the Manhattans. Friday, August 26th in the Straz Center. Also featuring Shirley Murdoch. The OJs with hit after hit. With Gerald Austin and the Manhattans and Shirley Murdoch.
Say goodbye.
Friday, August 26th in the Straz Center. It's the Farewell Tour for the OJs. For tickets, go online to StrazCenter.org. Put your hands together for the OJs, Gerald Austin, Manhattans, and Shirley Murdoch.
Yo. You know what it is, world? Welcome back to the Life Malcolm Show. I'm your host, Life Malcolm. You can call in at 813-444-9588 and holler at me if you want to. And if you want to know how to get healthy, you should call in and ask. We got the Health Genie right here on the Life Malcolm Show, right here on In Touch News Radio. She get you right. And I'm going to tell you, I know her. I've been knowing her for a while, and she is serious about that get healthy business, and she can do it. She make you do it, and she live it. She walk you through it, all that. And so, I mean, yeah, call up, man. We'll talk about that. But right now, we're finna talk about what's worse. We're just gonna throw some things out there right quick, and if you offended, that's your business. Okay. It's just because it's my mind, not yours. So, first thing, what's worse? A child on life support or a parent on child support?
The child on life support, of course.
Any of y'all out there on child support, call us up. Cause I don't know. I think that seems too easy. You on child support?
No.
Oh, okay. So yeah, all right. There it is. So, all right, in the same kind of idea, well, what's worse? It's just I had a what's worse list. I was just thinking about things. What's worse? Paying child support or paying alimony?
Probably paying alimony.
All right. Okay. Well, you said paying alimony?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you rather support the child.
Of course.
Than support the spouse that you got rid of.
Who won't support the child?
Yeah,
yes.
probably. Right, though. All right. Okay. All right. Here, this little, so we getting up there in age, so this might
speak for yourself. Speak for yourself.
I am. I'm feeling it. This might be a little more relevant to that. What's worse, taking care of children or taking care of your parents? Taking care of your children or taking care of your parents?
Parents. I guess, yeah, taking care of the parents is harder because you hate to see them get to that point where they need you and, you're so used to them being independent. You expect that from your children, but not your parents. So I think that's harder.
I'm thinking about them adult bowel movements too.
Oh, Lord.
That's them diapers much bigger, in the store than in the children diapers.
That is true. That is true.
I'm think I'm going for the parents too. Okay, all right. What's worse, sitting in the back of the bus based on the law, or sitting in coach because you can't afford first class? Like back in the day, we had to sit in the back of the bus. So you have to kind of imagine, because we don't necessarily have to sit in the back of the bus now. Although, when we get on the Airbus, which is the plane, sometimes we have to sit in the back because we can't afford first class. First class was a thing that they invented on the trains to, separate white people from black people. Yeah. So that whole idea of first class is still that, go to the back of the bus kind of idea. When you fly in coach, you essentially at the back of the bus, but it's not a law. But so what's worse, having to sit in the back of the bus based on the law, or having to sit on the back of the bus, or sit coach instead of first class because you can't afford it?
I would say the law, because I would feel like I can't change that, whereas being not able to afford it, that's still something I could work on and fix. But to have someone tell me I cannot do something, that would upset me.
Okay, all right. So far, so good. How about now? This is one of my favorite ones right here.
Uh-oh.
Well, I'm a word guy.
This might be dangerous.
Well, I'm a word person. Like, I love words.
I know.
And, so this one is one of my favorites. What's worse? People who talk to you with bad grammar, or people who talk to you with bad breath? Breath.
Mystery man has spoken. Yeah, you can't dodge the breath.
So you can tolerate them saying them is over there.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit easier.
I be working as much as I can to get these chickens.
Yeah, I feel sorry for them. Like, oh, you need to work on that. But that breath, that's hard to overcome.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. And then I just thought of this one because I had an experience. Woo! I had a hell of an experience. What's worse? Talking to somebody with bad breath, or talking to somebody who spit on you when they talk?
Ooh, that's easy. Keep your bodily fluids to yourself.
I was in a situation. I'm like, and I'm trying not to embarrass the brother, but I'm like,
Yeah, you need some distance there.
I would have rather him whisper to me with bad breath, instead of could not dodge it. Okay, all right, okay. All right, okay. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
And now here comes
Strap in.
This is a tough one. You ready?
I don't think so.
All right, good enough. What's worse? An ungrateful spouse or an unfaithful spouse?
Ungrateful, unfaithful.
Yeah.
I guess I would have to say unfaithful
That's worse.
is
All right,
worse.
now we got to break that down. Go
Oh,
ahead,
here
break it
we
down.
go.
Well, you broke down the bodily fluid in the
Right.
background a little bit, so go ahead, talk about it.
Well, I'm thinking unfaithful, for someone to step out of their marriage, there got to be some serious issues going on that haven't been addressed. And whereas ungrateful, maybe it's just they don't realize, and they just need to be pointed out that, hey, I'm picking up behind you all the time, and I don't hear you saying thank you. Maybe they don't, they were brought up that someone always picked up behind them. They had a housekeeper, so they're used to that. I think that behavior is easier to change than the underlying problem that precipitated the stepping out of the marriage.
So you think unfaithful is easier to change, or ungrateful is easier to change than unfaithful?
Well, I think it's not just being unfaithful. Something led up to that. There's
like you said earlier about ungrateful, they were just raised, or something led to being ungrateful.
Yeah.
And you think, based on what you just said, I'm just trying. So I'm just saying years of upbringing that led this person to be ungrateful. You think that's easier to overturn than this, whatever that led to the unfaithful?
Not necessarily, because like you said, both of these things are bad. So I'm just picking the worst one. Yeah.
What's worse?
Exactly.
All right. Okay. All right. Here we go. This one, we live in a world where this is a pertinent question. What's worse, a homosexual or a bisexual?
I think
I couldn't tell if that was the homosexuals or the bisexuals. I know it sounds soprano though.
I think it's, that's someone's personal choice. But I think that if I'm thinking bisexual would be worse, because I'm thinking, you need to, whatever you're doing, you need to tell your partner or whoever you're dealing
Well,
with.
tell them. I mean, I'm not saying like I'm not to confuse bisexual.
You mean being homosexual or being bisexual? Which one's worse?
Yeah, and I'm saying that, and I wanted to say, you should not confuse bisexual with the idea of being down low. So I'm not
okay.
suggesting that because a person is bisexual, everybody don't know they're bisexual. You know what I mean? People,
I understand.
a lot of people just bisexual and everybody know. So, but I could jump in on I could jump in on any of these, but
Go right ahead.
Please enlighten us.
Go right ahead.
I would say the bisexual joint is worse, because you gotta make a decision.
Pick a side.
You gotta pick a side. Yeah. You can't be. You
Straddling
can't want
the
this.
fence.
You can't want this one day and want that the other. That's. I don't know if that's indecisive, greedy, nasty. I don't know what it is, but it just seems like, hey, look, either you do this or you do that. So that's what I would say if I had to pick. But I just wanted to make sure in your effort to choose, you understand that bisexual is not the same as down low, like keeping, because you mentioned, tell your partner. I'm saying they might say, hey, I'm with everybody. You know what I mean? Plus, that's hard for the partners, because you don't know who the hell he or she looking at.
What's the difference?
What's the difference between what? Homosexual and bisexual?
And down low.
Oh, down low means you not telling. Down low means, as far as I understand, and I ain't never read the book.
You wrote it?
I ain't write the book. But from my understanding, I can't read. Oh, that dude's name was Brown. I don't know. No, that's not true. I had a poetry partner. I can't say partner because that sound. Hey, I had a poetry colleague whose name was Down Low Brown. He changed his name after the book Down Low Brother came out. So that whatever that brother name is, the Down Low is being one way and in secret, like being a sexual, like being a homosexual in secret. That's what down low is. So bisexual just mean that you bi. You go over here and you go over there, and there, but that don't mean that you have to be down low.
Can't you be a secret bisexual? I would think that most of them are.
And that would make you down low. Yeah, you could be a secret bisexual, which would make you down low. And I'm gonna say that if that was, so what's worse? If what's worse was being homosexual, bisexual, or down low, my choice is gonna be down low, because down low is low down. Yeah. And we're gonna get back to the to these. Got a few more. And then we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about what I said I was going to talk about, Arthur Green Jr. stuff. But I just had this other stuff on my mind and wanted to get it out. So we're going to talk about some more What's Worse stuff. And after the break, Arthur Green Jr., Jane Castor, and, all the other stuff. All right. So we continue, y'all. After the break.
Hey, this is Agent Wright, better known as Mr. Clean. You looking for some great barbecue? Come see them two brothers in the grill, located at 423 Virginia Street, Charleston, West Virginia. We got ribs, chicken, pulled pork, brisket, collard greens, mac and cheese, baby. Come get some and get you a nice, smooth cigar. 304-550-4431. That is 304-550-4431. Come get some, baby. The Rib Man, mama, the Rib Man.
By now, we're all aware of the dangers of COVID-19. Like others with existing health issues, cancer patients are at a high risk due to their compromised condition.
If you are newly diagnosed with cancer, your care likely can't wait. Moffitt Cancer Center is the best place for your cancer concerns and to provide guidance to help you plan your next steps. We're here for you. Call 1-888-456-2839 or go to moffitt.org/here for you.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call Herman White at 961-6661. That's 961-6661.
Yo. Welcome back to the Life of Malcolm Show. Sitting here with my guest today, Dr. Faith, man. And we've been doing I guess we call it a round of what's worse. Last thing we talked about was what's worse was being homosexual or bisexual, and I think we came to an agreement that the bisexual, you got to choose. That was the worst, right? That's where we left off?
That's where we left off.
All right, cool. All right, so got a couple more of these what's worse, and then I'm going to talk about Arthur Green Jr. You know somebody about that Arthur Green Jr.?
Yes.
So we, you might be able to chime in on that. So, all right, what's worse? To suck up or to stick out?
To suck up. Can you put that in context?
Like to be a sycophant, to kiss ass, to suck up, to just to go along to get along,
versus,
or to stick out, to be the I'm gonna do it my own way.
Oh,
I'm gonna
say no more.
Be the
suck up.
Huh?
Suck up all day.
Suck up.
Yeah.
Is worse.
Yes.
All right. Why you say that? Hey. I'm not even sure what was unclear about it to begin with. So, but I don't know what brought the clarity. But
because the stand out didn't seem bad to me.
Out.
Oh, stick out didn't seem bad to me.
It's bad because sometimes when you stick out, you get kicked out.
Well, that's true. That's true. But the sucking up means you have no character. It's like you just go with the flow and you don't stand for anything.
It's hard to take the road less traveled, the unbeaten path. So that's the stick out. I'm just saying that's the stick out person, taking the road less traveled, the unbeaten path.
But that's usually the best path.
Right. So, I'm just saying, what's worse?
For me,
be the stick out or to be the suck up.
The suck up would be worse.
Right on. All right. And so as we get ready to talk about these dastardly people, the last what's worse is, what's worse? Giving up the vote or giving up the gun?
I would have to say giving up the, on an individual basis, giving up the gun.
Well, you done modified it.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I'm saying so. You got to. Yeah,
Mr. Man at it again.
Giving up the bullets is good though. You can get all these bullets, but giving up. But so you said on an individual, but you said all that stuff. So yeah.
Because I was thinking as far as like protecting yourself. You can vote all day for X, but the majority votes for Y, so now you out of luck. So, you don't have a lot of control over the outcome of your vote, but you got a lot of control over that gun.
I'm not trying to get too personal, but
then don't.
I'm trying not to get too personal. That's exactly what I'm trying to do, not to do. Are you a gun owner?
I am not a gun owner. Okay. I have.
You have guns in your home?
I do have guns in my home.
Okay.
And I have.
A lot of guns?
We have a few, yes.
Okay, all right. You gonna say something before? So I'm just saying, you don't just have like a gun, like it's not like a family heirloom or nothing like that. Just
No.
like on the wall from the what's that regiment that supposedly was fighting with the people in glory. I don't know. You know, it's not that kind of gun.
Like the Buffalo Soldiers.
Yeah, something like that. You got guns that shoot right now.
Yeah, it'll shoot right now.
Okay. So, but you were gonna say something about it.
No, I was just saying, you know, the times we live in, it's so important for you to be able to protect yourself, especially being a woman and small. You know, I need to do everything I can to protect myself. Hopefully, I'll never run into trouble. I'm not looking for trouble, but if trouble finds me, you know, I need to be prepared, and I think everyone should be.
You said you not a gun owner, but you have, and I think I cut you off.
I'm going through the proper process. So I got my concealed weapons license, and I intend to get a gun.
Okay, all right. What's your thought on the current discussion around gun control?
My thought is that it all boils down to power. You know,
What's the it that boils down to power?
gun control, everything in this country. It all boils down to who is going to be in control. And those in power want to keep their power, and they're going to do everything they can to do so. And if that means taking away your rights to control what you do to your body, you know, what you can own, where you can live, you know, they're going to do that.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever heard me say it before. I say it a lot I've said it a lot on the show that Chairman Mao Zedong, who led the Communist Party in China to a successful revolution, I believe ardently and adequately stated that political power comes from the barrel of the gun. And so you know what you just said is prudent and right on point. So I've been saying I was going to talk about this whole Arthur Green Jr. situation, and I'm going to be honest with my audience and yourself and my mystery man behind the board. Probably haven't approached it because it's a painful situation for me. What the Tampa Police Department did to Arthur Green Jr. It was April 2014. I used to know the date. It might have been April 9th, 2014. Was a blatant example of how much I was going to say how much Tampa city government hates black people. But it's not so much what they did, but the cover-up. And so just want to just talk about it a little bit. And here we go, man. This is a tough conversation. I mean, I hope that the In Touch News radio family keep me on after this. But, I mean, we got to talk the real deal. Look, and so what I'm about to tell you is you can find this in the public record. That's where I got it from. You can go to the docket, look it up, and you will see. You look it up and you'll see. I'm about to read some things from the what they call a deposition. If you don't know what a deposition is an interview, if you will, between opposing parties. It's part of the discovery process, and the deponent, the person of whom questions presented to whom questions to whom the deposer presents questions is under oath. And so these, like, it's like being on the witness stand, except there's no judge, no jury. And so you've got a court reporter, swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, and all that. And this person's under oath, under the penalty of perjury, and all that. And you ask them questions. So on this day, they asked this guy, one of the Tampa police who killed Arthur Green Jr. If you don't know the story, I just run it back right quick. Arthur Green Jr., a 63-year-old man, one of the most kindest, gentlest people you ever want to meet. I mean, he would. We had raccoons. Matter of fact, we don't. It's because of Arthur Green Jr. that the Tampa Heights area I live in, Seminole Heights, I don't know, they call it Old Seminole Heights, New Seminole. They keep changing the name, but that area over there, right behind the Robles Park Pond. We don't have raccoons and a raccoon infestation and a possum infestation no more because of Arthur Green Jr. Because he would set traps for and catch the possums and the raccoons, and he would drive the possums and the raccoons out to Western Ever and then let them go. Like he didn't kill them. He was not no poison, none of that. He's this guy, kind, gentle, wouldn't harm, anybody. 63 years old. Had not had so much as a traffic ticket in 10 years, just the model citizen. You could see him always walking around the neighborhood, picking up trash, talking to young people, encouraging them not to litter. He started a football league. I mean, he's everything that the white people say that they want African people, their colonized subjects to be. Model, if you want to call it that, model citizen. This is Arthur Green Jr. And one day, old man, diabetic, colonialism make you sick. So he's diabetic and trying to get, he went to the store. He always used to go to the Circle K right down Hillsborough in Florida, get him some coffee, went there and come on his way back, had a diabetic episode and ran into a car head on, a couple cars actually, had couple head on collisions. And the cops saw, you can see on the video, the cops saw Mr. Green, Arthur Green Jr., run into the two cars. And so he done had two head on collisions, and now his vehicle, his truck is immobilized on the road. And instead of asking Mr. Green, can I help you? Are you okay? I just saw you just had a crash, something like that. They became very aggressive with Mr. Arthur Green Jr. And then some cop who wasn't on the scene at first flies into the scene, snatches Arthur Green Jr. out of the truck, slams him on the ground, on his face, and tried to hog-tie him. Put his one cop, this Anthony Portman guy, put his knee on his neck, and and I would say in less than 60 seconds, Arthur Green Jr. was dead. And so when we get back from the break, I'm going to read to you what's in the deposition and public record about Arthur Green Jr. and also tell you why it is. We'll talk on the other side of the break.
Get ready to experience a night of R&B hits after hits. It's the R&B Music Experience Keith Sweat Birthday Weekend Celebration, Saturday, July 23rd at the Amalie Arena, Tampa, Florida, with Keith Sweat. Keith Sweat. It's gonna be an epic music experience with Monica, Tevin Campbell, Tamar Braxton, Genuine, 112, and Silk. It's the R&B Music Experience Keith Sweat Birthday Weekend Celebration, Saturday, July 23rd at Amalie Arena, Tampa, Florida, with Keith Sweat, Monica, Tevin Campbell, Tamar Braxton, Genuine, 112, and Silk. Tickets on sale at Ticketmaster.com, another global events production.
It's the last stop on the Love Track Tour with the mighty OJs. Friday, August 26th in the Strand Center with Gerald Austin and the Manhattans, plus Shirley Murdoch. For tickets, go online to stradcenter.org.
doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call Herman White at 961-6661. That's 961-6661.
Welcome back, world. The number's still 813-444-9588. You can call me up, call us up, talk to myself, my guest, Dr. Faith, the mystery man, be chiming in. But, all right, so we only have a few moments left together, and I want to get through this portion of this deposition. This deposition was long, too, man. It like 120 pages. Anyway, so the lawyer asked Anthony Portman about what happened. So again, like I said before the break, Arthur Green Jr. has a 63-year-old model citizen, pillar of the community, in his truck on his way home, has a diabetic episode, has a couple of car crashes, head on, bumps into a couple of cars, clearly in need of help. And instead of helping him, Anthony Portman and this other dude, I think name's Mark Smith or some kind of Smith, runs up, snatches Art, pops out the truck, slams him on the ground. And so now the lawyer's asking him these questions. He says, so he went down on his stomach. That's the lawyer. And Portman says, okay. And then, the answer was, my bad. The answer was he went down on his stomach. And then the lawyer says, okay, and then you got on top of him with this wrestling move you were talking about. Portman says, yeah, we just started trying to do, it's called a prone cuffing. Prone means he's face down, the person's face down. Prone cuffing, where you prone somebody out and cuff them, and we were trying to get his hands behind his back, get handcuffs on him. Lawyer, was he resisting? Answer, Portman, yes, he was correct. He was pushing, pulling, kicking, squirming. Lawyer, okay, was he saying anything? Answer, no, he wasn't saying anything. Question, and so your body was on his back? Portman, the cop, yes. Question, lawyer, your weight was on his back? Portman, not all of my weight. Question from the lawyer, your knee was on his back? Portman, my knee eventually was on his back because that's part of the technique when you're cuffing, is to put your knee on a 45-degree angle across his back near his head. I mean, what, doctor, what's across your back near your head? Huh?
Neck.
That's going to be your neck? I mean, when you across your back near your head, that's your neck.
Neck.
Right, okay, thank you. So then the lawyer asks, when he went down, your body was on top of his body? Portman, the cop, part of my body was, yes. Okay, what about Officer Smith? Was part of his body on top of Mr. Green? Portman, I would have to see the video. Okay, this is the lawyer now. Okay, and then your goal was to get your knee across part of his back? Portman, I mean, listen to this slimy, trickery, kind of slippery slide talk. Part of the technique is to put your knee across their back, and you put your other knee into their outside part of their arm so you can hold the arm so they can't pull away, so you can actually pull the hand behind the back. You're talking about a 63-year-old man going through a diabetic episode, can't do nothing. You know about diabetic episode when the diabetes up to this and that and the third, you can't really resist and all right. Am I right about that?
Yeah, you're weak and
yeah, okay. And so what's that, the lawyer asked, so what's that technique called? He said, the cop says, that's called prone cuffing. I don't know the actual term of the technique. And the lawyer says, okay, but that's how, this is the cop talking, but that's how they teach it. That's how they teach it. That's what the police taught them. And that's something that you learned in the academy or in your training. The cop says, in both the academy and any in-service that we do for cuffing. They taught this cop, Portman, how to put his knee, what do you call it, on the back near the head of Arthur Green Jr., other than the neck, on the back near the head. And the lawyer asked, and tell me where your different body parts are when he was on the ground. You got a hold of his arm. He said, yes. And then he says, well, then the lawyer asked, would that be an appropriate use of force based on your maneuver? Were you trying to knee somebody or put your knee on their head? Cop says, well, if it accidentally went on their head during a fight, you can't control that. But then the lawyer asked, if you were trying to hold somebody down, you wouldn't put your knee on their head. Cop says, no, I would not, because, and the lawyer asked, because that would cause serious injury. And the cop says, correct. I wouldn't put my knee on his head, the lawyer says, or their neck, correct? And here's the cop. Well, the actual shin actually rests on their shoulder and goes across their neck on a 45. This is the cop. Says, well, actually the shin actually rests on their shoulder and goes across their neck on a 45. On a 45 means on a 45-degree angle. Okay, so part of it is on their neck. That's the answer from the cop. Part of it is on their neck. The same thing that the police did to George Floyd in Minnesota, the police did in 2020, the police did to Arthur Green Jr. right here in Tampa in 2014. It's a sworn deposition. Okay, so your knee was holding him down on the back, and that correct? My shin was across the shoulder blades, which would cross his neck to where my knee was at. And that's a sworn deposition. And so you have and so now the Tampa police, the Tampa police claims that Arthur Green Jr.'s death was a consequence of some kind of diabetic situation. They claim the police report. Now this is from the rag they call the Tampa Times. Tampa Bay Times. It says the police report said Green was combative. I told you, I know Arthur Green Jr. I know Pops. He wouldn't hurt anybody. He did not have a combative bone in his body. I know. I vouch for that. He wouldn't even hurt a raccoon, or a possum. And, so the police said that Arthur Green Jr. was combative and resistant when ordered to get out of the truck. He asked why he was being stopped and said he didn't do anything wrong, according to police accounts. Portman, the dude who in the sworn deposition talked about having his knee on his back somewhere, but, around his head or however he said it, and then eventually said clearly his knee was on the neck, says Portman opened the door and tried to pull Green from the truck, but Green struggled. He having a diabetic episode, but he's 63 years old, diabetic and struggling, having a diabetic episode and struggling with Portman, and the backup officers were called. Officer Matt Smith pulled up and worked with Portman to get handcuffs on Green. When you see the video, and you should see the video, he didn't work with Portman. He ran into the scene and snatched Arthur Green Jr. out the truck, slammed Art to the ground, and began to try to hog time while Portman put his knee on the neck. And but this is how they attempted to besmirch Arthur Green Jr.'s character. He combative, he not compliant, he this and that and the third. Instead of just saying, we killed him. We threw him on the ground, put our knee on his neck, and killed him like they did George Floyd. on Green. Then all of a sudden, Smith recognized the symptoms of a diabetic episode and suggested Green may be in a medical emergency. Police said, though Green was not wearing a bracelet. So now they put
On him.
Arthur Green Jr. dying, or them killing Arthur Green Jr. on him not having a damn bracelet. He ain't have a bracelet, so that gave them, that's why they had to treat him like he did, because he didn't have a damn bracelet. Typically worn by diabetics to identify themselves. The officers removed handcuffs and called for an ambulance. And I tell you, at that point, police said Green stopped breathing. He was pronounced dead at St. Joseph's Hospital about an hour later. He was dead before they took the handcuffs off. I saw the video. I got the video. I showed you the video. If you looked at it, I can show you the video again. Whenever you ready. He was, Arthur Green Jr. was dead before they took the handcuffs off. And so the reality is, Jane Castor, your mayor, at that time police chief, oversaw, was in charge of these cops, trained these cops, was in charge of these cops training. And the cops, I told you, he said that's what they taught. He said it's a technique. It's called prone cuffing. And when asked if that's something that you learned in the academy or in your training, Anthony Portman was clear. He says he learned that in both the academy and in any in-service that we do here for cuffing. He learned that technique. And Jane Castor's the same one when the George Floyd thing exploded across the nation, the world. It would say a knee to the neck is never the right thing to do. But they did it to Arthur Green Jr., killed him. The only difference is the people controlled the video in George Floyd's case in Minnesota. The police, Jane Castor, and her police force controlled the video in Arthur Green Jr.'s case. We only got like a minute left. You got anything to say? Thank you for coming. I just want to say that part, but do you have anything to say about anything we just said? You don't have to just talk about that, but anything.
I just think it's so important for us to stand up and speak out, like how you've been speaking out for Mr. Green and his family. It's unfortunate more people didn't do the same, like, what happened with George Floyd, because maybe George Floyd's death could have been prevented.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. So I would say this, if you've been tuning in, if not, if you're just tuning in, go back and look at the beginning of the show. We did this segment, I guess we call it a segment, or at least we did this piece called What's Worse. And now that I've, gone over this deposition and this news story where Jane Castor and her police force covered up this George Floyd, this pre-George Floyd killing of Arthur Green Jr. makes me ask this question, what's worse? Killing Arthur Green Jr. or covering up killing Arthur Green Jr.? This is the Life Malcolm Show, y'all. I'll see y'all next week.